Hey y'all, welcome to the Houston Gardening Novice channel. I'm a newbie gardener here in Houston, Texas, Zone 9B. Half the time I don't know what I'm doing, but I enjoy trying things out and figuring out what works for me. I hope you can join me in my gardening journey as I slowly work on building my backyard sanctuary. Okay, so today is January 21st. We had a snowstorm come through last night, and this is how the garden looks like today. We had a mini freeze 2 weeks ago. It got really cold, but there was no snow. But the one that came through last night, I think we had maybe 3 to 4 inches of snow. So this is how things are looking like. I've cleared out the snow from the shrubs, so they're clean. The collard greens are also they're looking okay. The cabbage is looking fine. Most of the shrubs are looking okay. The fountain grass, I'll chop that off. They should be fine anyway. The sunshine ligustrum, those will always be fine. The loropetalums look okay as well. So tonight I think the temperatures will go below freezing again, but I think and then we'll start warming up tomorrow. By the weekend, today's Tuesday, by Saturday I think we'll be back up in the 70s. So I think we are okay. We'll just see what doesn't make it. Most of the things look like they'll be fine. In the next couple of days, as it warms up, the ice will melt and we should be fine. Some of these are plants that already dried up in the first freeze. That's a fire bush right there. My fruit trees are looking okay. Oh, the guava looks fine. The rest are as expected. The Duranta that was going to be cut anyway, it had already started burning up with the first freeze. I'll chop that down. It will be right back up in the spring. But this is the aftermath of the snowstorm. See, the collards are okay. See, they're not burnt or anything. We didn't have wind. Wind is always our biggest issue. We didn't have too much wind last night, so I think that helped. That helped a lot. But things are okay. We'll start spring cleaning in the next couple of weeks, and before you know it, the backyard will be green and colorful again. Okay, overview is here. Okay, so it's been a few days since we had the snowstorm, and the snow has now melted from the landscape. So I want to go ahead and start my cleanup. This time I want to do it slow. Typically when I do end of season cleanup, I tend to do everything on the same day. But this time I want to take my time and just go slowly over a few days or a few weeks. So I went ahead and pruned back the Snow Queen hibiscus. I'll overlay pictures of how they looked like before I pruned them. But I've cut them back and I just dropped the prunings on the ground. Depending on how much prunings I have, I might shred them into mulch. But for now, I just want to do an overview pruning, and then we'll see what we have. So I've only done this side, so let me go ahead and show how the rest of the garden looks like before we get this cleanup started. So all the fountain grass is pretty much dead. So I'll cut them back to the base, and they'll regrow in a few weeks. So this lantana looked like it would have survived that first freeze, but the second freeze, it might not survive, although lantanas do come back in our zone. I haven't decided if I want to keep this lantana or if I want to take it out. So I'll think about that until I get to it. The salvias are fine. I'll prune those back. The new growth is already at the base for all the salvias. So that's society garlic. Those will be fine. I'll just cut them back to the base and they'll be regrowing. The Mexican petunia, the leaves didn't make it during this second snow, but the roots of these things are very resilient, so I'll just cut it back and they'll also regrow. That's another society garlic right there. This firebush, it's a lime sizzler firebush. I don't know if it made it through the snowstorm. It made it through the first freeze, but I'm seeing, if you look at the base, see some of there's been some splitting. So I don't know if they'll make it, but I'll cut it back and just wait and see. These cannas will be fine. Cut them back and wait and see. The fruit trees, it's actually time to do the winter pruning anyway. It's mid-January, so it's time to cut them back. So I'll get to that in a few days or a few weeks. The Duranta, I'll cut all this back. This will come back. Durantas do come back from, even if you chop them down all the way to the ground, they'll be back. The Nandinas were fine. Nothing happened to them. The lemon lime Nandinas were also fine. This Rose of Sharon, this is fine. I don't want it to grow too big this year, so maybe I'll cut it again by half so that it doesn't grow too big. These are the rest of the Durantas. They'll be fine. Cut them back. This Chinese fringe tree, I didn't lose the leaves in the fall or the winter, but with this snowstorm, all the leaves have been fried. So we'll see how they come back. So this island bed right here, I've gone ahead and I've cut the fountain grass that's chopped down. I've also chopped down some salvias and some mums. So I've already started working on this bed. I didn't do everything, but I'll work on it over the next few days and the next few weeks. The roses. So we have a standard rose right there and another one right there. The roses did well with the snowstorm. Roses do well in our zone. They're okay in the winter and they're okay in the summer heat. This is a Lady Banks rose. It's also fine. I'll be pruning this to prepare it for its growth and prepare for its bloom. It will bloom, I think, around April to May. It's a rambler rose, so it only blooms once a year. This other rose, this is Perfume Breeze. This took some beating, I guess, from the wind, but it's not bad. I'll go ahead and prune that as well. I have some Eden roses here. Which are fine, but I'll go ahead and prune. And I have a romantic ball gown here. I'll also prune those. As for the vegetables, I harvested the collard greens yesterday. The collard greens were fine. Those have been harvested. All the tomatoes, I harvested those prior to the first freeze. So we are okay. These collards were still young compared to the other ones, but you see they're fine. The mustard greens, I already harvested those. I did those prior to the freeze. And the cilantro, I did harvest some, although they are fine. This was all, they were in snow until today. That's when the snow melted in this area. But as you can see, the cilantro are just fine. Okay. All right, so this is just an overview of how things are looking like as we start the cleanup. I might not film everything, all the cleanup that I do. I'll probably do a bit here and there. But the goal is to cut things back. So I'll prune things, and then I'll fertilize, and finally we'll mulch. And that will be the prep that I do for the spring. Okay. All right, this is how things are looking like, and I'll come back as I'm cleaning up. Okay, bye. Okay, so it's been a couple of weeks since we had the snowstorm, and I've been cleaning up the garden, doing prunings of the dead shrubs, and cutting back some of the other shrubs as well. So I think the major cleaning is done. I still have to prepare for spring, some more preparation for spring, but things are looking good. I went ahead and pruned the standard roses. The hibiscus is pruned. The sunshine ligustrum, that's pruned. You see another hibiscus there, and another standard rose. So I just did a chop and drop. That's why the garden is looking a mess. I want to go ahead and let and I didn't shred. I didn't feel like shredding the prune material, so I'll just let them be. They'll break down slowly, and then at the end of February, probably mid to late February, I'll be fertilizing and mulching. So by that time, most of these dead material would be pretty much composted into the garden. So this is a butterfly bush, a black knight. I did cut it down. Might as well get ready for it for spring. We already had new growth coming through, so I cut it down. The rest of the sunshine ligustrums, I cut those as well, prune them back. This here is a rose of Sharon. I actually moved it from a different location. I moved it here. Here is it will receive more sun in this location, so I moved that yesterday. This is a Bonica rose, pruned that back. This is a Pride of Barbados. This was in a container. I planted it into the landscape in full sun. Let's see how they do. The rest, as you can see, it's a mess because of all the prunings. I just dumped them onto the beds. They'll become compost and fertilizer for the garden. I pruned all the purple fountain grass, cut them back, and dumped them right there. This is the other Pride of Barbados. Also planted that yesterday. Let's see what else. I pruned all the roses. For us, rose prunings, we need to prune before mid-February, but I went ahead and cut them back. And actually, this is my climbing rose here, the ladybanks. I went ahead and pruned it as well. And also pruned this perfume breeze rose that's on the moon gate. Okay, this is another Rose of Sharon. I moved it from a different place to here. I cut back. There's a lantana back there. I decided to go ahead and leave it. I was debating whether or not to keep it. But I just cut it back all the way to the ground. Let's see how it does. If it doesn't do well, this Rose of Sharon is here for that reason anyway. And here, this is a new. I put this up, and it's a new one. And I did plant. I have some clematis. I have I think two purple ones and a pink one. I think one is Jackmani, City of Lions, and something else. So they're in here somewhere. So I cut them. Those. Oh, I think there's one here. You can see. Yeah. They've been in a container for the past 2 years. Here's another one. I think that's the purple one. So I decided to go ahead and plant them in the ground. The containers were pretty root bound. Maybe they'll do well. We'll see. This is fall sun here, so we'll see how they do. Okay, the other prunings here looks a mess, but things have been pruned. The salvias have been pruned back. They already had their new growth coming through. The society garlic turned into mush pretty much, but the new growth is coming through. This side we have the sunshine ligustrums. Pruned those back. The prunings are right there. I pruned back. I cut the Mexican petunia that's in the container. That will come back. It looks bad right now, but it will come back. That plant pretty much doesn't die. Nothing can kill it. Then here is another set of clematis in this arbor right here. I haven't gotten to the fruit trees yet. I'll do those probably this week. I need to go ahead and cut them back for their winter prunings. And then this side, I had, this is where the Rose of Sharon were. I'll put this Japanese maple. I haven't decided whether or not I'll plant it or I'll have it in a container. But given our temperatures, I might put it in and leave it in the container for this year. I cut back the Duranta Gold. We're here. Pretty much cut them all the way to the ground. They should come back. Duranta, you can, they start afresh every year anyway. We'll see how they do. The lemon lime nandina were not really affected. Nothing happened really to them with the snowstorm. Same as the pink blush nandinas, they were fine. This side, pretty much the same thing. I have another Japanese maple here, where There the Rose of Sharon used to be. This side also, the Duranta have been cut down to the root, to the base. Okay. This bed right here, nothing really happened to it. The Chinese fringe tree, all the leaves were fried, and then they just fell in the last couple of days. I think it will be fine. I think it will be okay, but we'll see how if it comes back. It should come back. Then these are the bed right here, this island bed right here. I had done some of the prunings already. I did the rest, pruned back. This Gardenia radicans got some damage, but I pruned that back. The roses have already started coming. If you can see, the roses already have buds coming through, so I went ahead and cut them. The Indian hawthorn wasn't affected. It's already actually about to start flowering. I see the flower buds already. This is the other radicans. Pruned that back. This Eden rose right here, pruned that as well. And my ornamental grasses that were here, I pruned them back to the base. We'll see what comes back. If things don't come back, that's okay. But I expect most things to come back. I don't think the Mexican heather will come back. That one looks fried to the roots, but I cut it back just to see. It's an annual anyway, although in our zone it's a perennial, but I don't know, maybe it got hit by the cold too soon, because I just planted it, I think, in September. So it was only in the ground for maybe it was October, maybe three months max. But okay. So the cleanup has gone well. So this is how things are looking like. The garden beds, the vegetable garden beds are fine. The collards were not affected at all. The onions look tired, but they are fine. Same for the other bed as well. The pom-pom, juniper pom-pom, that one was fine. It's nothing, it's a conifer anyway, so it's fine. Okay. All right. So I'll stop this video right here. Oh, and the front beds, my front bed look the same as pretty much this. I pruned things back, cut the roses, cut the gardenias back, cut the dianthus. I cut the dianthus like this. So dianthus are perennials for us. So you just need to cut it down to the base, and in a couple of weeks they'll sprout again. Okay. All right. I'll stop this video right here, and come back in a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, to give the spring garden tour. So the garden is looking a little bit rough right now, but this is the worst it will look for the year, believe me. So it will be back to life. It will be back green in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. All right. I'll catch you all on the next one. Thank you. Bye.